NFL Week 2 just passed, and we had a lot of crazy things go down. We're going to give you our full reaction from, the biggest games and everything that went down. Of course, we're going to touch on the Falcons Cowboys, and we're going to bring in a special guest to touch on that. But first things first, throughout week 2, what is your first takeaway minus the injuries? Because we'll get to that.
Yeah. At this point, injuries is going to be a separate fucking segment.
Yeah, exactly.
On every show.
That's how serious it is.
But one of the takeaways was last Thursday night's game and Joe Burrow balling the fuck out.
Yeah.
Throwing for 316 and 3 touchdowns. And, I know it was against the Browns defense that was, they're a little shaky. But he's definitely showing some things. And Bengals fans have to be excited with this kid and how things are going so far.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say, this is like their best quarterback since Carson Palmer, who was, highly touted and was drafted, I believe, number 1 overall as well. So, yeah, Joe Burrow's definitely showing that, this game is for him, that he can make plays in this league. And he's going to continue making those plays if he stops getting fucking smacked. Because he's running into guys and, not going down when he should, thinking he could possibly break the tackles like this is college again. But no, I forgot who it was. I think it was Trent Richardson that just threw him down by the shoulders and sat his ass down.
I didn't see it. I didn't see that.
That one was bad. And that was because Joe Burrow tried extending the play. Like you're going to get away from a 300-pound guy.
Yeah. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, man. But Joe Burrow definitely looked good, even though they lost to the Browns. Baker definitely bounced back the way he needed to before the shit hit the fan over there in Cleveland.
Or the shit hit Odell's chest.
Yeah, or his chest for real. We already covered that. But yeah, the Browns definitely bounced back nicely. Their running game was on fire. You had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
They both had a crazy game.
Yeah, and this is what we expected from them. You have 2 caliber running backs like that. You have more of the physical in between the tackles guy and Nick Chubb. Then you have Kareem Hunt, who could catch the passes, do the screens, get out in space into the edge. And both of them did their thing, and that's what really led them to the victory, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that opened it up for Odell to have a good game. But it's crazy that they have 2 basically Pro Bowl caliber starting running backs.
Oh, yeah,
in the same fucking backfield. You guys, I don't give a fuck who your offensive coordinator is or head coach is. You guys got to figure something out to get them to continue to play the way they did last Thursday. And then we'll see Odell and Jarvis Landry start doing what they're supposed to be doing also.
Yeah, word. Right here, Nick Chubb, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. And Baker had the 2 touchdowns and the 1 pick. But, when you have a running game like that, it's definitely going to help, especially when you have a younger guy like Baker who, everyone's, saying, he might not be what we thought he was. Mm-hmm. And having a running game like that's going to settle him down and, calm him down and be able to play his game and not fuck up like how he's been doing.
Yeah, and Kareem Hunt also had a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, so there you go.
Both running backs had 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, yeah, we'll see, with both of them teams. Obviously, they played each other. Neither one of them are really a great team. So, we'll see if they both continue to put up, numbers that they need to show for their fans. But what other game you got on your radar for week 2?
I would have to go with the Minnesota Vikings and the Colts. We joked around, before the season started because Kirk Cousins basically came out and said, he would probably like it without the fans being in the stands.
Yeah, he said he wants to play schoolyard football. That's it.
Yeah, there you go. So now, he doesn't have that pressure of the Viking fans booing him and calling him an asshole, whatever else they fucking do out there in Minneapolis. But Kirk Cousins, man, they were on the road this game, but he, had a pretty bad game week 1 against the Packers where they were getting blown out for most of that game. And this game, Talk about 113 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 3 picks.
This is disgusting.
This
is disgusting, bro.
Especially against a Colts team that's, not that strong defensively.
Listen, I don't give a fuck if you're playing the best defense ever made. These are terrible fucking numbers. Like this is we mentioned them a couple weeks ago, but these are like Nathan Peterman numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And you got the guaranteed money you're fucking getting paid. And the offensive weapons that you have, this is extremely fucking unacceptable.
Yeah, and we saw what Gardner Minshew did to the Colts defense week 1. And then Kirk Cousins, he's a veteran. He has, I believe, better weapons than what the Jaguars have. Yeah. And he goes out and does this. The pressure definitely is on Kirk Cousins and Mike Zimmer because, Mike Zimmer has had that team in playoff contention. And he's had them right there, NFC Championship game and all that. But it seems like he can't get over the hump. And, this might be the last year for this Kirk Cousins, Mike Zimmer experiment.
Yeah, I think it should be, especially if the play continues the way it is. You guys were supposed to be Super Bowl contenders.
Oh, yeah.
Like 1 to 2 years ago. And now, I don't know if you guys are going to finish better than the Lions.
Yeah, especially, after last year, going to New Orleans, being the Saints. Mm-hmm. The following week they did lose to a 49ers team, but the 49ers were a very strong defense. They were at home. They eventually went to the Super Bowl. So, that's understandable as a wild card team losing to a team of that caliber. But, yeah, to start off 0-2, and it's not even an encouraging 0-2. It's like we need a new quarterback like today.
Yeah, it's one of those 0-2s where you go in and you're like you hate this guy. Like you're looking at him like I should punch him in his face.
Yeah, word.
But bro, I mean, you were, and again, he's another quarterback that in Washington showed a lot of promise, and then I don't know what the fuck happened. It's just been all downhill from there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He, he's a pretty good quarterback when he's playing the mediocre teams, but when it comes to playing the good teams, when it's time to make a statement. Put their foot on the division. He just never shows up, it feels like. And it's always in those games. The games where you're like, all right, he's been doing good for a few weeks. This is going to be his time to step up, and then he just shits the bed.
Yeah, man. So you got to get that shit together out there. Minnesota might be looking at Trevor Lawrence. But
yeah, you don't know.
Another underachieving quarterback, we're going to move on to another game, is Carson Wentz.
Oh, yeah.
The 0-2 Eagles. I'm loving it.
Yeah, of course.
I hate the fucking Eagles. But he's another one, and we're hearing rumblings about him and Doug. What the fuck is their last name?
Peterson.
Peterson. Him and Doug Peterson are like supposedly bumping heads or not on the same page. And, they're saying Carson Wentz is kind of just doing what he wants to on the field, audibling out when he's not supposed to be. And he's just playing shitty too. I mean, last week against the Rams, who, really doesn't have a... Well, they got Jalen Ramsey. They got the front, the defensive line. But he went for 242 and 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on 26 of 43, pass completion.
Yeah, right now his QB rating is 28.1, which is the 32nd one in the league. So he's the last quarterback in rating.
First overall pick? Was he or was he second?
He wasn't
like
the first.
3.
Yeah, he was high. I just forget what it was.
I know because I know it was him and Jared Goff was in that draft.
Yeah, Jared Goff went number 1.
Okay, all right, and he showed you he was number 1 on Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And the Rams are looking like the Rams from 2018. They are on fire right now. Jared Goff right here, 20 for 27, 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Got all their receivers. Tyler Higbee had a monster game at tight end.
Yeah, I know.
5 receptions, 54 yards, 3 touchdowns. And the Rams are rolling right now. So the Eagles, yeah, they're in trouble. I don't know what they're gonna have to do. They have Josh McCown there on speed dial, a fucking plane right away to come in. But I don't think it's gonna get any better with him. If Carson Wentz keeps going down this same path, I'd just say fuck it. Put Jalen Hurts in. Doesn't matter if he's ready or not. You think Josh McCown's fucking ready? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
really. Yeah, I get he has the experience, but you're talking about a 40-something-year-old guy.
Yeah, exactly. Who last year's playoff game didn't do much. So
And I can't stand that. Like, I don't know how you feel about it, but I hate when players, like, they drafted Tua down in Miami,
mhm.
and then they're just not going to play him. Like, if he's not ready because of his injuries, okay, I get it. And Carson Wentz, this is not the situation in Philly. It just, when you said Jalen Hurts, it reminded me how sometimes teams will draft a quarterback and, like, sit them to not throw them in the fire. And it's like, what the fuck are they in the NFL for?
Yeah.
Put them on the fucking field and see if they could play the game. like Daniel Jones, everybody was like, oh no, we should have started him right away. And why? What was Eli doing that was so fucking great?
Yeah, like they were on a fucking playoff run.
Yeah, so it's, if you fucking draft a quarterback, just let him play the game. That's what you draft him for.
Yeah, exactly. Especially that high. It's not like, a guy you took in the 6th round or something.
Yeah.
You took a guy in to potentially, be the starter, and pretty soon. That's why you were urgent to take him. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Anything else you want to touch on?
We can talk about Justin Herbert looking pretty fucking good.
Oh yeah, Justin Herbert. Yeah,
For
he
the
did come
Chargers.
in last second notice.
Yeah.
He did not have any reps with the ones during the week, and right before the game, he was told he was going to come in and play. And yeah, he definitely had a good showing against the Chiefs. They took the Chiefs to overtime.
Yeah.
So, that there in itself, I know they're a division opponent, but you're starting a rookie quarterback who found out 10 seconds before the game, and he still played well enough that, you took the Super Bowl champions to overtime. You definitely have to respect it. And supposedly he's going to start again in week 3.
Yeah. And look, I would start him too. And there you go. This is one of the situations I was talking about. What has Tyrod Taylor shown you throughout his career that you're like, no, this got to be our guy? You drafted Justin Herbert at, I think, like number 6 or whatever they drafted him at. Start him. You know what I mean? And he's obviously more than capable. He threw for 311 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. So the kid could play. Start him. That's it. It shouldn't even be a question moving forward. He handled it on, like you said, no notice.
Yeah.
So now when he is practicing with the team and everything, he'll be much more prepared. He'll be ready to go, and I think he's gonna be good.
Yeah, man. And another thing I did want to touch on from week 2, Kyler Murray, man. Kyler Murray's looking like, that weapon that a lot of people thought he would be, coming into the NFL. He had 67 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns rushing, and he had 1 throwing touchdown. And the game wasn't even close against the Washington football team.
No.
And you talk about, Washington's defense, they don't have a bad defense. I feel like, their offense is what holds them back because Dwayne Haskins is young. They
don't have no weapons.
Yeah, they really don't have no weapons besides Terry McLaurin. But other than that, Darius Geis is gone. Adrian Peterson is gone. Not even really sure who's running the ball there for them.
Gibson.
Yeah, Gibson.
Gibson and McKissick.
Yeah, so, like I said, I'm not really sure who they are, but...
Me neither. Me neither, so...
But Kyler Murray, he's definitely, has the Cardinals sitting pretty at 2-0 in that tough division, man. You talk about, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, and the Cardinals. And you have the Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals all undefeated.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, going to be interesting to see what Kyler Murray keeps doing, especially with his new weapon in DeAndre Hopkins, man. He had 8 catches, 68 yards, a touchdown, building off that monster week 1 that he had, where he had like 14 catches or whatever it was. Kyler Murray's looking like the real deal, man.
He definitely is, and DeAndre Hopkins seems to like to play with him. He seems like he likes it in Arizona. And that's definitely what you want from your star players. You want them to be happy. Kyler Murray knows to get him the fucking ball. He knows that's your playmaker. So, he's definitely looking good. So, a bunch of teams fucked up because Cam Newton's fucking balling.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's the next thing I wanted to touch on real quick about week 2 is, Seattle beat them on a fucking goal line stop.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Seattle's supposed to be Super Bowl contender this year too. And Cam Newton threw for 397 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, had 47 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So a lot of teams are regretting that shit.
It's like what we were, saying before. Like before, when Cam Newton still didn't have a job, we're like, what the fuck is wrong with these teams? Like they didn't see Cam Newton playing for multiple years and being one of the best quarterbacks at his, players in the league, and teams just kept passing him over and signing this bullshit guy and this other bullshit guy who fucking hasn't thrown a pass with any meaning in 4 fucking years. Yeah. And I get it, the injuries with Cam Newton and this and that, but when when you were able to pay him whatever the Patriots paid him, you don't take a huge risk on, and you still get a guy who was one of the most dynamic players at the quarterback position in the NFL since he's been in the league. Former MVP, he's been to a Super Bowl, been to multiple playoffs. Everyone knows what the fuck he can do, and for some reason this summer teams acted like they never fucking heard of this guy.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I get you had health questions, with him coming in, but the way you saw him working out on Instagram and the way he was talking, you could tell he was coming in with a chip on his shoulder and that he had something to prove. A player like that, you give a chance to, especially if I'm the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
We both feel like Sam Darnold is not the answer over there. And there's so many other teams, even like the Bears. Like, I know Trubisky is playing better, but you didn't know he was going to play better.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And even like the Raiders, they signed Marcus Mariota before Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Cam Newton's out playing Derek Carr right now.
Oh, hell yeah. And Derek Carr just had a great game on Monday night against the Saints. Ha-ha, fuck yeah. But some of these quarterbacks, these backup quarterbacks that got signed for more money than Cam Newton, you talk about an A.J. McCarron. You talk about a Jeff Driscoll, a Chase Daniel, like you said, Marcus Mariota, a Case Keenum. Like, none of these guys have even been in the same breath as a fucking Cam Newton ever in their whole careers. Their best years ever was one of Cam's worst years. You know what I mean? Like, none of them touched his MVP season. Nowhere near.
No, not at all. You could probably add 3 of them up and they still didn't touch the season that Cam Newton had when he was MVP.
Yeah, man. So I'm glad, Cam is doing his thing out in New England. I'm glad he's out the fucking NFC South, and we don't have to worry about him. But, yeah, shout out to him. He definitely put in the work, and all you hear about the reports from New England is how he's working so hard. He's the cliche, first guy in, last guy out. And obviously, it's working. They did lose to the Seattle Seahawks, but like you said, they're Super Bowl contenders. They're a great team, and they were away. There's no shame in that. They lost that game.
Especially when you were 2 yards away from winning the game.
Yeah, word.
You know what I mean? So you were right fucking there. One play going your way, game over, you win.
Yes, sir.
But, I think that's all of the big things that happened week 2, really. Like you said, unless you want to touch on Derek Carr, and the Raiders beating the Saints, which was kind of a shocker. By the way, real quick, even if we don't talk about this, I heard a fucking analyst on ESPN say, do you think it's time to start Jameis Winston? Are you fucking dumb? Like, are you dumb? Because he got the eye surgery, now you believe in him? Like, what the fuck is wrong? No, you start Drew Brees, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, and Drew Brees, he is not looking the same to me.
He doesn't.
Even last year, at times when they would put Taysom Hill in the game and Taysom Hill will have the momentum and the offense would be moving, and they put Drew Brees in and then he'd throw a pick.
Yeah.
I forgot what game that happened in. But Drew Brees, he is older. The offense is not moving the way that it is. But it's, it just comes with, they were down Michael Thomas, who catches 47 fucking catches a game.
Yeah.
So that's already, half of your offense right there.
Yeah,
that was
really
gone.
It's your main target.
Yeah, exactly. So, Drew Brees is older, but yeah, they're fucking reaching. All ready to start Jameis. I wouldn't say that. Give him a little bit more time. Let Michael Thomas come back. And, we'll see what happens from there. And, of course, that'll determine if Drew Brees comes back in 2021.
I am only starting Jameis Winston over Drew Brees if Drew Brees can't walk.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing. It's
Yeah,
like, oh,
really.
you can't stand up today? All right, well Jameis, go ahead.
Do you, bro? Let's see how your eyes work.